Hey, guess what? If you like my videos, you just got a bonus video 2 days in a row. And don't worry, we're still going to post another video next week. We might even continue doing more than one video a week. We'll see. But what I want to go over today very quickly is literally just quick predictions on where all the teams are going to end in the regular season across these next 2 weeks, right? I'm going to give it super fast, even though I do talk a lot, so we'll probably hit the 10-minute mark, but we'll see. And basically what I want to talk about is, let's start with Los Ratones. So Los Ratones in week 1 lost to Fnatic, then Giant X, or no, actually that was in week 2. They lost to Fnatic, they lost to KCB, which was really disappointing, and then they lost to KC themselves. Now, on paper, it looks really bad, especially going 0-3, but if you really think about it, Fnatic, like I said in my last video, Thorin was calling them fraudulent. I actually think they're like okay, you know what I mean? I don't think they're absolutely fraudulent, absolutely terrible. So I think you should bet on Fnatic winning this game, right? Losing to KCB, yeah, that was pretty unforgivable. KCB isn't even running the roster that won EU Masters Summer 100%, so that was really terrible. And then they lost to KC, but KC is 5-1, so like, can you really blame them? They then lost to GX, who is clearly proving to be way better than people thought coming into the split. They beat Shifters G2 and MCOY even, so they're clearly a top contender. And then they beat people that they're kind of projected to be lower on the totem pole, which is Team Heretics, and then later Shifters. Now, Shifters especially was a big upset. I'm definitely surprised that they were able to carry that momentum, but beating Heretics is something they definitely should have been able to do, even though I do think Heretics is a little better than, you know, what their scoreline shows. The problem is, despite the fact that they're 2-4, so supposedly the way it's been described, top 8 is playoffs, but you probably are going to need 4 wins to clear playoffs, and even then it's not super duper safe. But let's just say we need to get Los Ratones 2 wins. Well, if you look, they have to play against G2. Hella unlikely that they're gonna beat them, even though G2 has been looking a little sussy. MCOY, I highly doubt that they're gonna beat MCOY. Navi's laners, Navi has been one of the biggest surprises of the split. They are genuinely showing to be a very good team. Then you have SK, maybe. It's a 50-50. SK, when they're good, do look pretty great. And you have Wonder, who's showing promise in the top lane going against the Baus. I think he has enough experience to definitely not get cheesed. So I'll say this is a toss-up. And then you have Vitality, who I just made a video about. And that one I will say, Vitality is not looking the greatest. So it's you know, 50-50 as to whether they're going to win or not. And so I do unfortunately think Los Ratones is not going to make playoffs. Now I want to say, because I think I have been coming across as a bit of a hater. And admittedly, I've been using some clickbait titles. But I want to talk about Los Ratones in more depth, especially depending on how these playoffs pan out, because I don't outright hate Los Ratones. I actually love the opportunity it's giving these former LEC pros, you know, to be back at the LEC level. I actually would love if they could join the LEC permanently. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love Cadril, and actually, the #1 player on that team who I really dislike is Nemesis, and honestly, this split, I have to say, I gotta eat my words. Nemesis has been fantastic. Absolutely fucking fantastic. And has not been the reason they've been losing those games. So, just wanted to put that out there super quick so that we don't have, like, you know, this idea that Tough Leader does not like Los Ratones. I actually really fuck with Los Ratones, and I'll talk about that more in depth in another video. Okay, I gotta remember that this is where they are. Shifters, super quick. I'm not gonna go into, like, the details of, like, everybody they lost to. I'll probably just want to more so highlight who they're going to play against. So coming in, I thought that Trimby was unfortunately not going to be super exciting on Shifters, because I think he's a little bit past his prime, and I believe I would love if he would get back to his prime level, because I think he is such a major weapon for the LEC. I think maybe his time in CBLOL really hurt him. Clearly his time in Heretics in 2024 really hurt him. And it seems like he's not 100% back just yet. Fingers crossed that he gets there, though. Versus Fnatic, this is low-key a toss-up, but I would say 60-40 in Fnatic's favor. KC, the thing with teams that are like 5-1 is that they're always going to throw a random game for some reason. So that's the only reason why I think like they might lose to Shifters randomly. But Shifters should again lose, and I'd say this is more like 70-30. KC Blue, Shifters should win, so that scores them 1 win. Navi should win. And then SK 50-50. So Shifters has a pretty good chance of scoring 2 wins and crossing the finish line just barely. Jumping to SK. SK has been pretty disappointing. I kind of started to buy into the Kool-Aid after that first video that I made, the Mickey X drama explained. And week one they had like a decent win, right? Who did they beat? Oh, they beat Fnatic. Oh, and they lost to G2. I don't know why. I thought they were actually like kind of decent. They're not horrible, clearly. But this is such an example of a team where like those pieces, Wonder, even Leader, Yopa has been really surprisingly very, very good, in my opinion, at least. I know AD carry can sometimes just be like, do you have hands? But not everybody does, and I think he's doing a really good job. And Mickey X especially, I think, belongs on a top team. I feel like you plug and play him into like MCOY, for example. You throw Duffman there. That's like my dream fantasy. They win worlds, and you don't like upset or an AD carry like that on the roster. Whatever. That's a story for a different day. I think SK is going to lose to GX. I think, when do they play Los Ratones? That's really the question, because if they're playing, when do they play them? They play in week 4. Oof. Playing them day 1 of week 4. I think Los Ratones has more of an X factor, but if week 3 is like disastrous for Los Ratones, which MCOY into G2 into Navi, nah, they're not beating SK. I don't know. Maybe they'll just like week 4 not give a fuck. Actually, you know what I think? I think SK LR week 4 is not going to give a fuck, and they're going to miraculously beat SK. I think this is going to be a horrible week for Los Ratones. I think they're going to go 0-3. That's terrible. And then they're going to go into the last week begging for a miracle run, and they might get it, because having to play SK Vitality, who knows? But then SK Vitality are also going to have their lives in the line. Ugh, that's a rough one. SK has to play MCOY. Oh man, MCOY's like freaking me out, dude. I could see MCOY losing. Shifters, I think we just talked about this. I think Shifters should win, but this is genuine 50-50. And then Heretics, man, you guys don't understand. Like, please, if I fucking die, tell the people that I love Shio and Sten, dude, especially Shio. Not that I don't love Sten, but I've been repping Shio for like longer, because he's been in the league longer. And man, it's just such a shame that they're on like a lower end team, because I think they're way better. I think you literally plug and play them into top rosters, and I'm telling you they're good. I think SK should beat them, though. I don't know. It's like, no, SK is actually that bad. I think it's 50-50, 50-50. I low-key think, especially based on the schedule, they should beat Los Ratones, probably lose to GX. Heretics has Fnatic. I'm going to say it right now. When did they play them? Heretics plays immediately. And did they win? No, they lost. I think Heretics is going to beat Fnatic. I think they're going to beat Fnatic. Granted, it's in week 4, which isn't the best. I think they're going to lose to KC, beat KC Blue. That's 2 wins. Lose to MCOY. Man, with that momentum, when did they play SK? Oh, they play SK. Oh my god, I just did this. I don't know. I think they're barely going to scrape in. KC Blue has Fnatic, G2, Giant X, Shifters, Heretics. They're screwed. They're screwed. They might... Even if they get 2 wins, they're screwed. I love KC. I don't love them per se, but they're screwed, unfortunately. Vitality, G2, Giant X, KC, Los Ratones, MCOY. Shit, man. I think they sold too many. I think losing to Heretics really killed them. If they won against Heretics, it is basically do or die against Los Ratones. I don't see them beating G2, even though G2 looks a little sloppy. I don't see them beating anybody. I really don't. Los Ratones, I see them maybe beating. If they beat Los Ratones, then they skate in. But that's their best shot. G2, I already know G2's gonna beat Fnatic. I just love it. I just feel it. Occasionally Fnatic will beat G2 in the regular season, but I just know with the way the rosters are right now. And somebody please write down these predictions, because I know I'm speaking heat. I'm gonna get like 90% of these right. Oh, by the way, actually, just good intro. I mean, if you manage to make it 9 minutes into the video, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of February. And leave a like, I guess. I don't know, help the video. But G2, I think, is going to beat Fnatic. Definitely going to beat KC Blue. Definitely going to beat Los Ratones. I would not be surprised if they lost to Navi, though. And then end, what, like 6-6, basically? Or 7-6, 7-5? Because I think they'll beat Vitality. Sorry, Vitality. Navi, I literally forgot what prediction I just made. I think they're gonna beat, yeah, I think G2's gonna beat them, but Navi is impressive. I think Navi versus GX is like a really like like, I think GX is maybe a bit more coordinated, where Navi has more firepower and just not perfect coordination just yet. But dude, I'm just so impressed that like Navi against Fnatic, I'm shocked that they threw that lead. Had like winning lanes across the board. Like, very impressive team. Definitely a dark horse. I'm really impressed. I'm happy that they're in the league. I think this is a toss-up 50-50 if they beat Giant X. I think they lose to G2. I think they beat Los Ratones, no doubt. And I honestly think they could give MCOY a run for their money. But I think sometimes I get freaked out and doubt MCOY. I think MCOY is better than I give them credit for. I'm disappointed they lost to Shifters, right? Because they lost to Shifters? Yeah. And then Navi has to play Shifters, and they should win that. Like, should beat Shifters, should beat Los Ratones. That'll clear them definitely into playoffs. MCOY has Los Ratones should beat Navi 60-40, I'd say. SK, I feel like SK, no, they should beat. I'm actually so impressed with them. They beat Fnatic, G2, KC, bro. Like, that's insane. It's just losing to Shifters that really looks bad, and GX a little bit, but GX is a great team. No, I should put respect on their name. They're going to beat Los Ratones 60-40, 65-30, 35, Navi. SK they should beat. Heretics they should beat. Vitality, a little bit of a toss-up, because I think if they get into the whirlwind of Vitality playing fast, MCOY can get play fast and lose 2, and it'll get really ugly. It's going to depend on if they have the discipline. I think they get 3 more wins, though. I think they get 3 more wins. Wait a second. 3, 1, 2... Oh, yeah. At least 3 more wins, maybe 4. Giant X has to play against KC. Oh, that's a really good one. I wish I watched GX Fnatic in more depth. I think they lose. I got to give respect to KC. I think they beat KC Blue, obviously. Navi, again, this is going to be a real neck and neck. SK they beat. Vitality they beat. Yeah, I think they clear those. Yeah, I think they clear. Wait, am I getting confused? I think they cleared 3 more wins. Man, the Navi, GX, MCOY. I know it's like oh, like you're giving all the credit to like the freaking 3 teams that are tied, duh. But I just think it's really interesting. Fnatic, I do think they've been. It's so funny that I think Fnatic is like half, fucking. Like, I think they're actually better than people are giving them credit for, but they are also clearly sneaking wins. Now, I think it's impressive that they are making comebacks. The problem is I think also Fnatic just does not have, as an org, and the players that are on the team, like Razork and Upset, unfortunately. I love Upset, by the way. I don't think that they have, like, the mental fortitude. Like, they have the mental fortitude to get them to, like, playoffs and beyond, like, to, like, top 4 or so, but like, you know, they're gonna I worry that they're gonna fall apart when things start not working, you know what I mean? And it's kind of bad that, like, I feel like their macro and stuff like that, like, they're just falling behind early. Razork looks like a shell of himself, and maybe that's because he's trying to play supportive picks like Jarvan to get other people ahead, like Vladdy and Upset. I don't know, it's definitely not his strong suit. I'm telling you, fucking Fnatic, if you just plug and play Shio, I promise you, I fucking promise you, Shio and Stend on Fnatic makes Fnatic like a fucking championship team. Are you kidding me? With Vladdy and Upset, it's absurd. All right, whatever. Where are they? G2 beats them. KC beats them. KC Blue, they like, Fnatic is gonna beat them. Obviously, they're gonna beat Shifters. I think I would actually love it if Heretics fucking took out Fnatic. Yeah, I said that, right? I think they are going to. I think they're gonna take out Fnatic. I just have a feeling. I think the last team then is KC. KC versus Fnatic. They're going to win. KC versus GX. A little 60-40. I think KC. Shifters. I think KC's clean. I think they'll take 1 loss. I think they'll end like 10-2 or 9-2 or whatever. And it's just, I don't know who might beat them. Honestly, if I had to say, out of the opponents that they have, I think the team that beats them is Vitality. I think Vitality just has like a little bit of an X factor. And you know what? Maybe I'm underestimating Vitality, because I think... it's the fact that they have such rough opponents they have to go up against. Because, dude, they get really good leads. Like, they are a good team. They just throw, dude. They just fucking throw. I don't know. I wish I kept better track. It would be so fun to, like... Can I do it? I can't... Oh, launch predictions? What does this do? No, that's not what I wanted. Does that not work? Oh, it would have been super fun to do predictions. Well, anyway. Can I do it? I can't... Anyway, I thought that would have been super duper fun if I could have done some predictions and then actually like seen how it evaluates. But nonetheless, those are my game by game predictions. I'm super curious to see how it all pans out. I guess I'm gonna have to watch this video and like actually like note take. I'll do that on my own time. Don't worry about it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy just random more content, more LEC predictions. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys might think I'm totally wrong. You might think I'm totally right. I think that's spicy. Let's get into it. I'll catch you guys next time. Why is this 3-3? Oh, wait, what? Oh, because it's G2. Anyway, all right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, guys. Thank you. Subscribe and like. Peace.